the program manager. I'll try that again because that may have overcome my voice. My name is Alicia Barroni Cortez. I am the program manager for NASA Community College Aerospace Scholars, and I'm very, very excited to welcome all, looks like 207 of you into the orientation this afternoon. You're joining a prestigious group of community college students all across the country. This is hopefully the first step on your journey to coming to visit us here at NASA. Here with my team today, we're out in sunny California at Ames Research Center running a workshop of community college students just on the other side of the wall from me who are here hands-on in engineering design challenge right now, getting ready for the second of 2 robotics competitions that they've been engaged in this week. So we want to see where you are from. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to change what you see on the screen for a second here and change it to a map of the United States. And what you can do is on the left-hand side of your screen, you'll notice there's me, hi, hello. You'll notice there is a participant window and a chat window underneath that. And then to the right of that, there's a little ribbon of tools. And the very last tool, if you hover over that, it will say place clip art on the page. So if you click that, it'll open up a set of tabs, and you can choose a symbol among those, click on the symbol, and then you can stamp it down onto the image and show us where in the country you are joining us from today. If you are joining us from somewhere outside the country, which is a possibility, then please write in the chat window where you are joining us from if this map doesn't show your location. Wow, look at that. I like the choices people make here. We've got some coffee cups. Someone has, I don't even know what kind of symbol that is, in Texas, in Central Texas. Oh, we have some, yeah, very nice. All right. Okay. So, yeah, so if you don't see the map yet, you will. It's just taking a moment to render on your screen. So if you look next to your name in the participant window and you see red next to your name at all, it means you're having a delay. Yellow means you're catching up, and if you don't see any colors, then you'll be there soon. So we'll go ahead and let that go for another moment. All right, look, Jenna finally saw it. Took a minute. That's what happens when you have 222 folks in a single session here. So by this point, everybody should at least see the map. So I'm going to let that keep going for another 30 seconds or so since folks are still stamping down. This is very exciting to see where everybody is from. So hopefully you feel like you are part of something big, and you are. You're part of something big. You're joining over 400 students who will be starting with you today in the online course, which will run for 5 weeks. And from the over 400 of you, around 280 of you will be selected to travel to a NASA center and engage with us for 4 days in an engineering design workshop and get immersed in NASA culture and workforce and facilities and missions and research. So we're really excited to have you join us in this adventure. Still coming in. So many people. California, man, we got California and Texas pretty well covered, which is good. So there's actually 3 NASA centers located in California. And in Florida, well, it's just such a narrow state. Yeah, we can barely see Florida underneath there. So Rob will be happy to see that. He's out at the Kennedy Space Center, who is hosting a workshop this fall. Let's switch semesters in my brain here. Yeah, Florida's looking good. Okay. All right, so I believe at this point everybody has at least seen the map and has had a chance to take something. I know, poor Michigan, Tim, I'm so sorry. If it makes you feel any better, Tim, Michigan is my home state, and from the Detroit area. So hopefully you don't feel as lonely. And you're not, and at least you're not the only Tim, says Tim Murphy. So I think it's all good. All right, so let's go move ahead to our agenda for the evening. And so I'm going to flick off of that, and we are going to do introductions next. You're going to learn about D2L, also known as Brightspace, and find out how that's all set up and how you can navigate easily through that for the next 5 weeks. We'll give you an overview of the topics to expect in the course. We're going to talk about a very serious issue called plagiarism, and that will definitely be grounds for your removal from this experience, so we don't want that to happen. We want to make sure you have a very clear understanding of what that is. Our expectations for the course in general, and then we'll talk about a little fun we have with social media. So, having said that, I'm really excited to introduce the team to you. Joining me today is our education coordinators, our NCAS coordinators, Alex Gladney Lemon, Karen Wilson, and we also have one of our instructional assistants, so like 60 or 70 of the students. So several of you will be working with Brett. And we'll talk about him next. So let me first introduce Karen and Alex. So let's start with Karen.
Thanks, Alicia. So, hey all, we are super excited to have this day kicking off for us. It's finally here. We've been waiting a long time for fall 2017, and so excited that you're joining us. I love everybody like, hey Karen, hi Karen, hey Karen. So thank you for that. This is my 7th semester with NCAS. I'm a repeater. So I started as an instructional assistant, and now I'm here at NASA with the team. So super excited to be here with you guys, and we will be following you for your journey for the next 5 weeks and then beyond.
Did you push that?
I have no idea what that is.
All right. So, hey guys, welcome. My name is Alex Gladney Lemon. I am not as much of a repeater as Karen. This is only my 3rd semester, and so only my 2nd one running it from the start. And so I'm looking forward to working with you all. And so if you have any issues on the D2L side, I'm usually the one that you guys are going to be contacting. That or your instructional assistant. But I'm really looking forward to getting to know you guys as best I can, and seeing you guys throughout the time, because we're going to have some amazing opportunities for you to interact with NASA scientists and engineers even before you get to NASA. So that's to come, though. We'll talk about that in a second. But for right now, I'm just happy to be here.
Thank you, Alex. So the 3 of us are the core of the team. We work down in Johnson Space Center for our usual location. We're on TDY this week out at Ames Research Center in California. You may have noticed in the news today, Vice President Mike Pence was down at Johnson, which created a lot of chaos. So apparently all the parking was blocked off. And we're glad we weren't there, because there would have been nowhere to park. We had to walk miles to get to our building. There was a big announcement today. Yes, new astronauts, as you are commenting in the chat window. A class of 12 new astronauts was announced today, and so that's always an exciting thing. There were over 18,300 applicants for that pool, and you can go check out that announcement. I'm sure if you just did a search in a browser for new astronaut class 2017, you'd find some great information about that. So we're all part of a big team. We also have a team of educators that we work with and bring in just during the semesters that we run the courses to help you, to be your first line of support as you make your way through the 5-week course. And so if you look on the screen, you'll see that there are 8 instructional assistants. These are professional educators, and they're here to help guide you, provide constructive feedback on your final projects, and just be that person that you can reach out to if you have questions and need guidance as you make your way through the course. So we have at least one of your instructional assistants here this evening, Brett Trimpey, who's actually out here with us at Ames. And so I'm going to let him turn on his video, and Mike can introduce himself.
All right, am I on? I'm on. Hey everyone, excited to be here. I'm excited that you're here. I'm at a loss of words right now, but the biggest thing I can say right now is you get what you put into it, and put your best in so you can get the best out of it, and you'll get to go to possibly go to a NASA site, which is pretty awesome, right? So, like I said, excited that everyone's here. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. Good job for you guys to make it this far. Oh, yeah. I teach at Butler Community College. I am the department chair for the Engineering Technologies department there. Been there for 4 years in campus. I know I have one student that I recommended in this session. So I don't know if I tried to put my dot on the map, but it ended up in Oklahoma somehow. So I don't know. Maybe the wind took it.
Yeah, there you
Awesome.
go. Dr. Rivals. All right. So just to make sure, there's a lot to scroll through to see if we have any other instructional assistants here. If you are an instructional assistant pictured on this screen, and you are here, can you please raise your hand and we can give you a chance to introduce yourself as well. All right. I'm guessing we don't have any of the other folks here because they're all busy. But you will get a chance, if in the next week, you will be reached out to by your instructional assistant, so you'll find out who yours is and find out whether you're Team Trimpy, Team Fleming, Team Anthony, you just don't know. But these are all, I think almost everybody has at least one semester under their belts, if not more, of working with NCAS students and helping them cross the finish line. So just like Brent said, whatever you put into it, you're going to get out of it, and your instructional assistant is there to help you. And so it's the asynchronous course in the sense that it's kind of self-paced. There's only 3 live events that happen in real time. But it's really important that you try and stick to the suggested timelines for things, and your instructional assistants will be checking in with you to make sure that you are feeling confident that you know how to find things and that you're doing well. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and go to the next slide here and let Karen and Alex introduce you to how the online course is organized in Brightspace.
All right, guys. So what you guys are seeing here is you guys should have been received an email today saying that you were invited to join this website in which you would be given a username, and they would have asked you to go ahead and set your password. If you have any questions about this, please hold off to the end. We want to make sure that there's lots of questions already. So please hold off to the end, and what we'll do is we'll try and answer them as we go through the end. We want to make sure we get through all the slides and respect the time of everybody here, and make sure we get through all the information. So this is the login page that you should get to. You should be able to put your username and password in there. It's going to be nep.brightspace.com, and you'll be able to put in the username and address there. When you sign in, you will get to a front home page, and you will have to select your course, which will be up in the upper left-hand side in the top, and you will select down. We'll see a little line that says Select Course. Pull down menu, and you'll select the one that says NCAS Fall 2017 or NCAS F17, and that will be the one that you want. So you'll be only course, but you still have to go through the process of selecting it. All right. And then, once you're there, you will get the screen. It says, hey, first take a survey. So what we're going to ask you to do is that you are going to, let me get my little pointer here. Oh, I got that. And then I come here and say, look, it says if you go right here, you will click on this number 1, which says complete the survey. It will take you to a separate website. and you will go ahead and complete the survey. It does ask you to set up a key based off of some things about your feet and your mother's maiden name and all that good stuff. That is not the 6-digit code that we're looking for. You're going to complete the survey. It's going to be kind of like taking your pre-test to see what you know already about NASA and also get some information about you as well. And then once you get done with that pre-test, once you get done with the pre-test, then what's going to happen is that you will take a number will come up once you submit, and that's the 6-digit number that you will need to write down. And then you will click on this link here that says take this quiz, and it'll take you to start up a quiz in Blackboard. And then what you're going to be able to do is click on the link that says start the quiz. It'll ask you what was that 6-digit code. You simply type it in and you hit submit, and you'll have to probably click one more button saying, yes, I really do want to submit this quiz. And once you do that, you will have access to all the content of the course. Okay. Next is before you start the content, what we'd like you to guys go ahead and do is set up some settings and to fill out a little bit of information about yourself so that your IAs can get to know you a little bit better. And so what you do is up here at the top right, you'll see your name. You can go ahead and click down on it, and you click on Profile. And when you click on Profile, you'll see a whole bunch of things you can fill in about yourself. We don't want to know that much about you, but if you can fill out some things, some fun facts, type stuff, such as what your tagline is, your interests, your favorite music, books, website, some quirky little things like that, just to have some fun with it. But you don't have to fill everything in. We're not going to ask for, when you were, we don't want to know when you were born, your birthday, all that good stuff. We just care about, trying to get some more information about you other than that you're a community college student. Okay. All right. Once you're there, the next thing to do is to kind of get an idea of what the paging system is. Paging system for us is kind of a way of talking with you. And so from time to time, your instructional assistants will go ahead and send a page, which is kind of like the instant message, if you will, for D2L, Desire to Learn. And you will get a notification up here. There'll be a little red dot that shows up right there. Next to the envelope, you would click on that, and you will be able to see the pager. The pager it'll show you what pages you have. You can go to the pager. You can click on the actual what's being said about or what somebody sent to you, and you can see the message. Once you've clicked on the message right here, you'll be able to send a reply straight to them. Okay, so it's kind of straightforward way for us to communicate with you back and forth. The next one is finding out who is your instructional assistant. All right, so this is a great question because this is going to be who you're going to want to talk to and who you should expect. So not only should you guys get pages from these people, but to find out specifically when you first get here, again, before starting the course, we want you to go ahead, click on the top, you'll see the thing that says discussions from the navigation bar, and then scroll down a little bit. One of the ones you'll see, one of the topics you'll see or the forms you'll see is NCAS introductions. And for myself, since I'm an instructor for this thing, I see all the different instructional groups. But since you guys are students, the only one that you will see is the one that you're a member of, the IA. In this case, Sherry LaBelle. But for you, it may be somebody else. Okay, so this person, this name will change right here. It won't be Sherry LaBelle, it may be, but it may be somebody else as well. And that's who your instructional assistant is. Go ahead and click there and drop a blog post there for your instructional assistant. I've already noticed that a couple of people already have done that. Congratulations for that, getting a jump start on it. But again, this is all an effort. We want to know more about you. We don't just want to know, hey, you're a community college student that likes NASA. We want to know more. And our instructional aides or assistants really want to know more as well, so they can better help you and understand what you're going through so that they can help you better get through this course. Okay. The next thing is getting started. So you've already completed the survey, yay. So you got in here. The next part is to read the syllabus, which we'll go through somewhat here. But the way that you're going to be able to find the syllabus is that you'll go up, there's up at the very top, let's see here, the tab you would like to go ahead and push is called Content. I'm sorry about the delay. It's just they switched over to a new system this semester, and so I'm learning all the new words all over again. So it's going to be content, and then you'll go into program overview, and one of them will be your syllabus. You can go ahead and click on the syllabus. Right now, we're having difficulties finding out why it won't print or download, but you're still able to view it as a PDF and scroll through and see all the information that is there. Okay, and then hopefully you've already done the introduction part, and you set up the profile. And now that you've done all that stuff beforehand, now you can go ahead and start completing Module 1. Okay, and it's one of 3 modules that you need to complete over the course of these next 5 weeks on top of the final project we asked you to complete. Course overview.
So hi, this is Karen again, and I'm going to take you through the course. So the first thing you see right here, we have 2 sections, as you're aware of. We have the online experience, which you are currently enrolled, and then we also have the I should say fall. I do apologize for the fall on-site experience. So for the online curriculum, what you're going to do is you will go through space exploration through NASA research and NASA missions. You will have lessons and sessions given by NASA engineers and scientists. And then the grading is going to be done by the instructional assistants. Once you are accepted to come to an on-site experience, you will have a 4-day residential experience hosted at a NASA center. The expenses are paid for you, travel, hotel, food. There are briefings by NASA engineers and scientists while you're there. There are team projects that you will be doing directed by NASA engineers and scientists. Hands-on engineering activities. This is what Alicia was referring to moments ago when she said that on the other side of the wall from us right now, this is actually happening. We finished a whole morning of touring NASA facilities, so regardless of where you are assigned, you get to have the same experience, but then the NASA facilities are unique to that center. And then we help you work on your resume and networking, so by the time you finish all of this, you are ready to embark on the world even stronger than you are right now. So when you get into the course, this is at the very beginning, you're going to see where it says Course Home. This is sort of your default page. The Journey to Mars is the first module. There are 3 modules and a final project. So in the first module, you have 2 activities. And so within the first activity, it says Activity 1 here and Activity 2. Those are the titles. Just to back you up a little bit, we will discuss the 6 priorities, or what we call the Big 6 at NASA. That is technology, the Earth now, aeronautics, International Space Station, the Journey to Mars, and the solar system and beyond. It's all very fast-paced. In the 5 weeks, you get to pace it yourself, but this is what you come to every time you enter the course. This is the default page. So once you are here, just so you know, all the assignments that you're going to do are completed and submitted in the Bright Space by D2L site at this point. So this is where you go, and then when you're ready to change from this Journey to Mars page, so if you are not on the first module anymore, these buttons at the very bottom, there's 4 little dots down there that look like targets. The first one is lit up here because the first one on the left, because this is the Journey to Mars. If you are ready to go to the next one, you click on the second button, and the third module is the third button, and the final module, the one on the far right, is the final project. Okay, so this is, I think, the 3rd module that you'll see, Exploring the Solar System and Aeronautics. Could be the 2nd, I don't recall, it's not the 1st though. But again, you will also have, this is like I showed you before, this is the sort of the home page that you're going to see, this part that's in the rectangular section, and then you have the 2 activities here, 1 and 2, the solar system and beyond, and NASA is with you when you fly. So this actually covers the solar system as well as aeronautics. When you get into the system, you're going to have both reading and videos to do. So readings and videos that are embedded in the course. That's how you get to your content. At the end of every module, or at the end of every activity, you have a quiz. There are 2 quizzes per module. The quizzes are multiple choice, 10 questions per quiz. You take them as many times as you want to take in order to get the highest grade that you would like to achieve. Ideally, you're going to get a 100. Worst case, you will not do as well as you want, and so then you wait. You go back, wait an hour, go back and review the material again, just chill, get rid of your test anxiety, come back within an hour and try it again. We only look at your highest score. If you have scores that you don't want us to know about, that's fine. Take the quiz again, and we won't know about them when you score higher. So truly, that's where you and your IA will form a relationship, because they'll be the ones that will help you through that if you are having struggles. But not to worry. Again, you can always repeat the quiz until you get the grade you want to get. And then the final project. So let me see. There's a breakdown here next. I'll tell you this in a minute. So I'll tell you about the final project in a minute. Here's the quizzes component again, though. 2 quizzes per module, 6 quizzes total. You have to get at least a 90% on each quiz, because that means that you've met mastery. Once you've met mastery, you can go on to the next quiz. You can take it an unlimited amount of times. The highest score is the one that's recorded, so if you make a score that you're not so proud of, don't fret. And then again, the 1-hour wait study time period between the quiz attempts. So when you see this picture right here on the right, this is what it's going to look like when you pull up the Journey to Mars, one of the activities. And if you see on the bottom, there's 4 columns down here. Each of those 4 columns are hyperlinked to the content that you need to have. And then at the very bottom, where the big blue arrow and the little pointer is pointing, now there's 2 little pointers pointing, that's where you click. That's the hyperlink to take you to the quiz. Y'all are going to knock this out of the park, I promise.
And I'm back, because apparently I dropped away. So during the course,
there we go. Gotcha. I'm back. So during the course, you're going to also have webinars. We have subject matter experts that will be speaking to you about different content that is pertinent to what you are learning right now. So next week, you actually get to have the opportunity to listen to and interact, ask him questions. Stu McClung, he will talk to you about Orion. The following week, we have a robotics walkabout with Paul Valley. And then the week after that, we've got a Mars Curiosity Chat with Dr. Ashwin Vasaveda. So if you cannot come to these or attend these virtually, obviously, we record everything so that you can, if you're working, if you've got classes, etc., we totally get that. You're not expected to quit your job or quit school. We want you to continue what you're doing with your life, but if you can get to them, then do. If you can make arrangements to attend, then please do. We will post these within the content on Bright Spaces by D2L. I feel like I'm saying an ad every time I say that. Bright Spaces by D2L. All right. 60% of your grade are the quizzes. The other 40% is the final project. So the final project, you have 3 options, and we on Tuesday will actually have a final project workshop to discuss the final projects in very great detail. So this is a pretty fast overview right now. We just want you to understand the gist. You will only choose one of the 3 final projects. You do not have to do all 3 options. Each of the projects is rubric-based, so you have very easy to follow guidelines on what needs to be included into the projects. This is an individual project. You are not to turn in a group project. It also needs to be original work, unique to you. So just like we said before, we're going to talk about plagiarism soon. This is where the what do you say, hammer hits the nail, or the pedal hits the floor, or whatever. This is where it's very important. We use APA format for our more or less for the entire format of the paper, but specifically for the APA format for the citing of the sources. So you are going to get a final project workshop, and then you get to submit a draft. Your draft of your final project is going to be read over and by your instructional assistant, by your IA, and they will give you feedback, not a grade, but feedback. It's an optional component, but I highly recommend that you take advantage of that, because then you'll know if you're going the right direction, and you have a chance to change things if needed, or continue the way it's going if you're on the right track. The final project is due on the last day of the course. It's due on July 12th at 11:59 p.m. Let me just say this. Everything we do in the course, all deadlines are Central Time. because we run this course from Texas, from Johnson Space Center. Everything we do there is in our time zone, right? So that doesn't mean that you don't get as much time if you're on the West Coast. That just means that the people on the East Coast started later in the day than you did, kind of a thing. So it's equal amount of times for everybody. We're all starting the same time, and we're all getting the same amount of opportunity to work on the projects. Alex wants to say something. So go ahead, Alex.
So a couple of things I want to make you guys aware of and point out that to submit the draft there, look at that due date. It's June 21st. It's just 2 weeks from now. It's not saying that you got to have everything done, but it means two things. One is that you're not going to put the final project off to the very end. In fact, if you're smart about this, you'd go tonight yet, after this is done, go over to the fourth little circle and check them all three out and see which one piques your interest and start taking a look at the priorities for it. And then all we're really asking for this draft is a draft, just an outline. See, maybe do a part of it like you're doing it for real and see what the feedback you get from your IA to make sure it's on the right track. And then also to talk about the central time, you guys, when you were enrolled into this class, you guys were enrolled as though you were all from Texas. So everything that shows up on your screen inside that website is Texas time. So if in the settings, you can change that to where it's your time zone, so you're not trying to figure everything out, and then it'll change it to that time. But we'll always make it clear that it's in Central Time, and anything that we write. But if you want the calendar to work for you inside of D2L, you need to change that in your settings. Otherwise, the calendar thinks you're in the middle of Texas, and everything's going to show up in Central Time. Hopefully that makes sense for everybody, and that's all I had to say about that.
Thanks for adding that in, Alex. And again, in the syllabus, there's an overview, including what you can turn in, what sort of we would like you to turn in for the draft. So I would say minimally do what's in the syllabus or more if you have time. But just under a week. So Tuesday of next week is when we do the final project workshop to explain all this to you. It's on the 13th. And I think that slide might even be next. Let's find out. Nope, it's not. Plagiarism is next. Hey, Alicia, you want to talk about plagiarism?
I would love to talk about plagiarism. No, I mean, we joke about it. Why are we joking about it? We shouldn't joke about it. It is serious. It says so right on the screen. I'm going to point to it. Hang on. Plagiarism is serious. It is. And the reason that we say this is because the Internet is a powerful tool for research, but there is clear and obvious cases of using someone else's ideas and words as your own, and some that are less obvious. But we want to make sure that you understand that your final project that you turn in is meant to be an original work. And your work and not a group project. So there are no group projects. Even if there are other students that you know or that you meet through your teams or through your IA groups, that it's fine to study together and to throw ideas and brainstorm things around together, but your work really needs to be original. It needs to be your own. And so when most people think of plagiarism, they think, oh, it's just, copying someone's words and pasting them into my document as though they were my own words. That's the most obvious version of it. Most people would agree that that is plagiarism. But there are very many cases of plagiarism that people don't realize they're plagiarizing when they really are. And so if you look through these other bullets here, right, is the second one. It's using other ideas that people have without crediting the source of those ideas. It's stealing people's words. It's to present something as a new or original idea, as your own idea, when really it's an idea that you got from researching things through the Internet or other sources. And so we want to make sure that you understand that we use a plagiarizing detection software where we put all of the final projects through an analysis to take a look at the percentages of content that are coming from other sources. And we expect that you do a very thorough job of citing all of the documents and web pages and resources that you used, that you consulted, that you read through as part of preparing your final project. So let's take a little quiz here because, like I said, some of the cases of plagiarism are not as clear as others. So we're going to put a poll up for you to answer. And what? Oh, okay. Yeah, we're going to put a poll up for you. If you look underneath your name, so you'll see the picture of me, and there's a talk and video button, and then underneath that there's the participant window. And so if you go to the fourth button there and hover over it, you will see that there is an A through E way to respond. So which one of these counts as plagiarism? A, turning in someone else's work as your own. B, copying words or ideas from someone else without giving credit. C, failing to put a quotation in quotation marks. D, changing words but copying the sentence structure of the source without giving credit. Or E, copying media, especially images, from other websites to paste them into your own papers or websites. Okay, so click on the uptake, you all are. I can see that nobody's picked, or some people have picked some of the answers, but you're all confused because all of these sound like plagiarism. And so that was a trick question. There is no correct answer because they're all the correct answers. So all of those things are true. I will tell you the story. A couple of semesters ago, we had a student who plagiarized, but truly did not believe that they had plagiarized. And so when we pointed out that there were large chunks of text from the student's paper that they had submitted that we saw clearly in other sources, the answer to us, the explanation we got was, well, I didn't really understand how to answer the question, and so I had to use those other words in order to give an answer. It's like, no, that's totally missing the point. If you didn't understand the question, or didn't understand the content to answer the question, then you didn't get it. You didn't understand it. So you can't pass somebody else's words off as your own. So let's move along to talk about citing sources. Okay, so one of the weaknesses of many papers that get turned in are there's maybe 2 or 3 websites listed as a source. And so we know that if you're really doing your research on this and you're reading through all of the articles and the documents and the videos that we provide as part of the course content and other things that you'll find on the NASA website and other aerospace websites, that you're processing a lot of information as you prepare your final project. So why do we want you to cite your sources? It shows that not only are you're not just copying somebody else's idea, but that you're using that as the basis of the jumping point for other thoughts of your own. B, it's lending outside support to the ideas that are completely yours. So let's say you do have a completely original idea and it's similar to or in the same vein as somebody else's idea. It goes to show that like you're joining this community of thought about this topic. And so if there are other respected folks out there who are thinking along the same lines that you are, that adds credence to your work.
Okay. And finally, it highlights the originality of your ideas by making clear distinctions between them and the ideas you've gotten elsewhere. So I'm just going to tell you that Alicia is back on now. Go ahead and do that.
So in this case, by showing somebody else's idea in contrast or in comparison to your own, it's showing that there is a distinction there. And so it helps, again, lift up your originality and your ideas as different from what's already out there. So there's lots of good reasons to do it. The biggest of all is to avoid plagiarism, but it's also gives strength to your work as well. So we are going on to the next section, which is the expectations for the course. So who's going to, all right, Karen's going to come back at you for that.
So what we want you to do is we want you to familiarize yourself with the syllabus. As Alex said, right now there is an issue for you actually downloading it, but you can for sure reference it. It's not going away, so it's there. As soon as you can, print that syllabus and use it as a checklist. One of the things that we find is that most of the questions that you ask are in that syllabus. Your IAs can answer for you questions, as well as Alex and myself and Alicia, but truly your IAs are your go-tos during this course. And you'll do that through paging them. So remember that when you read the material within the modules, you're going to score at least a 90% on each quiz. We want you to complete the final project, because without that final project, you will not become eligible to come to a NASA center. If possible, attend the subject matter expert webinars that we have. If you're not available, then watch the recordings that will be posted within about 24 hours generally of the live talk itself. And then, I can't stress this part enough, log in daily to D2L to get updates, messages. Your IAs will send you messages periodically. They will be, because everybody just got enrolled into the course, they will be sending you a welcome message today or tomorrow, like we said. But regardless of when you receive that, go ahead and get on the discussion board and introduce yourself to them. So what you can expect as far as in the syllabus, the curriculum itself. So we have a detailed list of all of the activities, readings that you need to do for each module. So this is an example of Module 1 right here for Activity 1. It gives you the task, it gives you the title, and it gives you what it is. Is it something to read? Is it a video to watch? And the length of whatever it is that you have to do. The notes on the right are pretty important. So take note of that, sorry. Pay attention to that, because when you see that, it might be, for example, there's one I know that, or a couple of them that say Safari, this doesn't seem to work in Safari, that kind of a thing. So in this case, it says this includes a transcript for downloading in addition to the video that you're going to watch, that kind of thing. So it gives you ideas of what it is that you're going to be looking at, as well as the notes about the content itself. Within the syllabus, we also have the due dates. So you are on the very first two, right? We have, you just gained access, and you're participating right now in the orientation. So woohoo to you. Less than a week from today, Tuesday next week, a week from yesterday, we have the final project workshop that will help you understand in great detail. And I mean to tell you, we go almost word for word through the rubric. So we want you to attend. The IAs run that along with Alex and myself, and so we want you to attend, and it's also a chance for you to meet your IA and actually get a chance to question them directly. 1 week from today is when the first module is due. So just like summer school courses that seem to be a little bit heavy, so is this the pace of this course. Let me just say this. The course, generally speaking, is self-paced. So if you feel like you can knock out Module 1 and all of Module 2 by next week, then by all means do it. You'll still receive messages from the IAs that will send to your group, hey, don't forget that Module 1 is due, that kind of a thing. But the IAs are here to keep you on track, and the due dates help keep a running tab of where you should be when. We have the day after the quizzes are due, we have our first webinar. So Alex and I were just laughing at the fact that we've got so much going on just next week already. So you have something on the 13th, the 14th, and the 15th. And once you've heard at least from the first week, you'll kind of understand the pace of the course and what it takes to read through a lot of this. Alex has got something to add to this page, so I'm going to let him have the mic.
So what I was just going to say is that if you haven't noticed yet, we're providing you guys a lot of tools for your success. So this is probably one of the biggest ones that we can give you, and it's inside the syllabus. Is that you guys can at least pace this out. Like Karen said, this course is self-paced. If you want to go and blow through the whole thing and get it all done and get it out of the way and concentrate on your final project, that's something that's there for you. This is just a suggested pacing that we feel would be most successful for you so that you can give the proper attention to the final project and get it taken care of. If you're going to fall behind this pace, it makes it really difficult to to get a high enough score to get you to the NASA center that you want to get to. So please, please, please take advantage of these tools and your IA that's here and us, because we want you to be successful. No, Alicia.
I know that for several of you, you are finishing up finals right now, and you're about to start summer. And so just wanted to do a quick poll. Can we go back to yes, no's on the poll? I just want to know if you can use the polling feature again. Again, it's the fourth button over underneath your name, and in a second it's going to switch from the A through E to a yes, no. I think it will, maybe. Okay, now we've switched to yes, no. So if you can tell us, are you enrolled in summer classes? Give me a green check for yes and a red X for no. So are you enrolled in summer classes? Okay. Dang, that's a lot of you. So keep in mind that the summer semesters are shorter and more intense generally, and so we understand that adding this on top of your plate can be a lot. So time management is the way that you will succeed. It's going to be easy to let this drop to the bottom of your priority list because you're not getting a grade for it, you're not paying for it. This is just something that it's a dream, right? So don't let it drop to the bottom of your priority list. Really try and make the time for it, but you're going to have to schedule the time for it. Don't say, oh, I'm going to do this after I put the kids to bed and have some quiet time. No, you're too tired by then. You're not going to do it then. Schedule the time. Figure out a way to do it because the payoff can be so amazing. One thing that we've done in addition to your instructional assistants that we have hired to help guide you through this, we have reached out to the person who wrote you your letter of recommendation on your application. We've reached out to them to let them know that the class is starting today. We had a session with them. Several of those recommenders showed up in that session because they want to see you succeed too. And we were really heartened to see something new that we were trying. We haven't done that before. So all these faculty members showed up into a session just like this yesterday, and the reason that they were there is because they want to see you succeed. So we recommend reach back out to them if you haven't already. So at some point you asked somebody to write you a letter of recommendation, and they did. So reach back out to them, send that email, or if you're taking summer classes, which 157 of you are, reach back out to that person and say, hey, I got in, I started this program, here's what it's all about. You know, I just had orientation and I've got to do this final project, and do you have any suggestions for me? Build your support network. We know that you have a lot going on. And so the more people that you can have on your team advocating for you, cheering you on, wanting to see you succeed, the better you're going to do. But you have to build that support network around yourself. So we put some pieces in place for you, and we're trying to help you understand how key that is going to be for your success. So that's my homework assignment for you, in addition to, you know, putting all of these dates as a reminder on your calendar and your phone or whatever system you use to keep yourself on track, is to put a note in there as a to-do to reach out to the recommender and thank them for writing that letter of recommendation. Tell them, awesome, that helped me, I got in. And now, you know, here's what's going on. Okay, that's all I have to say about that. Thank you.
That was great advice, Alicia. Thank you. All right. So as Alicia said, there are some dates. So what we talked about is what's happening Tuesday, the final project workshop, so you'll know how to go through and complete the final project that you have due at the very end. Additionally, and again, these are all in your syllabus, so I won't belabor it, there's the draft that we have done, and then right before the final project is due, we have 2 different sessions that the IAs are hosting, the instructional assistants are hosting, that are from, it says, yeah, it should say 8 to 9 p.m. Central, so my bad. That was me in haste. It would be 6 to 7 Pacific and 8 to 9 Central. So we'll get that corrected, but it is correct on your syllabus. But know that there's a couple of times that you can ask questions, have your specific questions answered prior to the final project being done. So, oh my, we have a pen that broke in our office here. So please, 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 please pay attention to the due date. As Alicia said, this is sort of a dream course for a lot of you, and so we hope that it's not even don't let it fall to the bottom of the list. It's like, don't let your dream fall. Keep up with this. It's 100% worth it, like Brett, like we've all been saying. Thanks. Thanks for scribbling on my page. This is my biggest thing that I would do. I would calendar out the course. And so once you have the dates from the syllabus, go through your calendar and get it all marked up. Like Alicia said, that's great advice so that you can put your school events on there, whatever other dates that you have for your courses. And then that way you can see how this is going to fall within the same, within your world. You know, whether it's soccer practice or swim practice or just you were supposed to go on vacation that weekend kind of a thing. Make sure that you have it all calendared out. It's only a 5-week long course. It goes very quickly. I know summer courses do as well, so do that as best you can. And thanks for the happy face there. Is the final project workshop going to be at the same time provided in the syllabus? This orientation was 5:30 to 6:30, syllabus session 6 to 7. The final project workshop is supposed to be 6 to 7 on Tuesday night next week, Central Time. So I'm just going to let y'all know that right now, and then we will ask, that should be the immediate right there. It is 6 to 7 on Tuesday night. It's Central Time because we'll be back at Johnson Space Center by then. Thank you. There's a calendar built into the Brightspace by D2L system, and so if you go up to the content, click on that tab in the nav bar, and then go down to course schedule, you'll see that the content will come up either upcoming or the full schedule, so you'll see the dates within. I'm going to go kind of fast just to make sure that we get their questions. Again, we talked about the grading, 100 possible points. 60 of them come from the 6 quizzes, and 40 come from the final project. You have to have minimal a 70 to qualify for an on-site workshop. But I'm going to tell you, with everybody vying for a position, the higher you get, the better you'll do. So where you can game it really well is to make sure that you make 100s on all those quizzes. And so that's why, if with the opportunity to go back and retake them, I highly suggest doing that. Use your IAs. These instructional assistants are fantastic. They've been vetted, and they all still work with us because they like us, and we all work together quite well. They love what they're doing, and because you are their newest group of pride and joy, everyone wants their group to have the most participants in any given semester, and so they are there for you. Please use them. Course syllabus is there for you. Your instructional assistants are there for you. You're going to be posting on discussion boards. Be very mindful of what you post because it is a form of communication that once it's posted up there, if you don't want your grandmother to see it, you shouldn't write it up there. But be very professional. Think about that as you go through the process. Social media. This is Alicia's favorite thing to write or talk about. So we do a lot of social media posting. If there's a tag board that we have that follows Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, right? And we invite you to share your NCAS experience. A lot of you have already done so. We put the hashtag in your letters. It's hashtag NCAS 2017. If you put something up there that we particularly like, you might be one of the featured posts. If you look on it right now, you're going to see what we're doing, where we're doing it right this minute. So check the tag board regularly. Again, here is the hashtag, or sorry, the address at the top. We follow Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Google, Flickr? No? Yes? Maybe? Not Flickr anymore. So write this down. Is it in the course? Is it in the D2L course? Do we have the hashtag and the tag board there?
Content.
It's in the content. Excellent. So that said, now we're ready for your question. So here's what we want you to do. Please write your question and then raise your hand. And when we call your name, because your hand is raised, remember the little hand icon looks like a high five, it's under your name in the participant list. When you raise your hand, we can then call on you. So the chat is open. That's how you're going to ask questions. Jillian has right there just what is tag line. It's called tag board. It's a conglomerate of where we can, with the hashtag NCAS 2017, we're able to see all of the different posts. Okay? So I'm going to start looking at who we've got going up here. I'm going to move this over here. All right, Jillian, was that your question? Tag board. Good. Got it. Okay. Dana McCutcheon, go ahead and put your question in. And guys, we're not going to answer the questions if we haven't called your name. So if you put a question in, we can't necessarily answer it. So Dana, if you've got your question ready to go, let's go ahead and answer it. Will Blackboard Collaborate be used for the live seminars? It will be Blackboard. Most of them are going to be Blackboard Ultra, so it's a little bit different, but yes, it's Blackboard. Tim, what's your question? How are you doing today? I'm great, thanks. How are you? But that's it. Thank you so much. Philip, how are you doing? What's your question? Philip Borstein. Jerry, go ahead and put yours in. Philip says, will orientation notes be posted? Yes, we will post this recording in the content on Brightspace by D2L. How do you make an account for Blackboard? It's an app, and you just download it. Jerry, what did he say? Oh, Jerry, go ahead. Did he pass? Officially, yeah, this is the conclusion of our conference. If you've got questions that you need to ask or the question of this orientation, y'all can go out. But if you have questions that you want answered, please stick with us. Y'all have a great evening. I did not receive the email today. Which email? The email about being in the course. We will look at your name. Jerry Sherrod. That's down. Mohammed. If y'all have already put your question in, you're going to have to redo it if it's like zoomed by, because we have like 5 million right now. Let's see what we got. Okay, I'm trying to get you back out of here for a minute. Let's see if I can make this bigger to read. The games are crazy. Okay. We're going to get back to you. Hang tight, y'all. Y'all answer questions as I try to find them. There's so many. All right. Okay, what if we're having conflicting time with future webinars? They'll be recorded, so you don't have to worry about that. Everything we do is recorded and posted, so if you cannot attend, it will be recorded and posted. Let's see. Theodore, what's your question? Theodore Pena. Or Pena. Pena. Theodore, do you have a question? Blake, do you have a question? If y'all already put it up there, put it back in. Will the final project workshops be recorded? Yes, they will, and they will be found in the resources or content. Christian, what's your question? And Anthony Z, sorry, I didn't skip you. Christian, if we get accepted in the on-site workshop, will housing be provided? We need to find a place to stay. You will be housed. You will not have to find a place to stay. Z.
Hey, Ernie, I just checked everything. You should have received an email. Please check your junk files because it might have ended up in there.
We submit one final project, but maybe we submit more than one draft to the IA. That's up to the IAs. We'll explain that during the workshop, but because they have a whole giant group, just like most teachers do, it depends on their time, so we have to respect that. But you'll definitely get one feedback, so do as best you can for that first one, okay? Rodrigo, what's your question?
How many hours per day do you recommend you draw and towards the course?
Thank you. So approximately, the whole thing takes maybe about 25-ish, 30 hours. So it just depends on your reading pace and your video watching pace and your availability of continuation, and if you can actually stick to just the course and not deviate into all the awesome rabbit holes that you could go in. But I would say start doing it, and then you're going to see what the pace is, and it's going to help you set your own pace as far as that goes. Is the APA paper a serious research paper, i.e. does that mean that I should be doing my own research into the topic? If you will go in and start looking at the final projects first, you're going to kind of see the outline of what that is. Barg Shaw. I hope I said that right. Where can we access the modules information? How do we pay the $30 fees? There is no fee to be paid at all until you are selected for an on-site workshop, so don't put that cart ahead of the horse, but thank you for starting to save your money. The modules, once you open the course, once you do the survey and get the code, it opens the course. Just go to Course Home and click on that. It'll get you to the content. Jessica Knoxman. I like that name, Nocturne. Which NASA centers are participating for Phase 2 on-site workshop? We have, I think, 7 aligned right now to go. So there's 9 altogether, back out 2, that's what we have. Go look and see what we have. Let's see, Jillian Gloria, and then Stevie Holly Knox. Jillian says, what is the tagline D2L about me section? What's the about me section? Oh, so in D2L, the about me section is just kind of a way for, the only person that's going to see it is the IA, so that lets them see information about you, like what's your favorite book and that kind of thing. So it's, because it's an online course, it gives them a way to get to know you, okay? Stevie Holly Knox.
You put it in there. I know we'll communicate with the IAs, but we'll be communicating with other students a lot as well.
Yes, you will have a chance to discuss whatever you want to discuss on the discussion board within the science realm, I'll say. Let's frame that. But yeah, you have that opportunity too, and then especially within the final project workshops, you're going to hear other students ask questions that will pertain to you, as well as the webinars that we do with our experts, our subject matter experts. So when we speak with the subject matter experts, those questions might be yours, and y'all are feeding off each other. Like a regular good class. Rafael Rosales. We are indeed. We're about out of time, y'all. Let's see, I can't see the syllabus in my content. I know it's there because I was looking at it earlier.
Look at it.
Go into content,
and then click on the link that says, look at on the right-hand, left-hand side, excuse me, it says Project Overview. When you click on Project Overview, you'll see 3 files that pop up. One of them will say syllabus. And it'll be a PDF. You click on it, and it'll pop up inside the D2L environment. We're working on you being able to download and print that separately. I know there were a lot of other questions that people had. Again, be able to, but we need to kind of wrap up, and because we want to respect your time for this. And so, if you want to, please reach out to your IA if it's critical. Before you do that, though, please take the time to go through the syllabus. If you do have any problems reaching either the syllabus or logging in, please go ahead and we're going to type in here our email address. It's JSC. NCAS, right? Okay. And jscncas@mail.nasa.gov. So email us there if you have issues as far as being able to access anything inside of D2L. With that being said, thank you guys so much for coming out. We are looking forward to getting to know you more and to push for your success.
And I will just parrot what Alex just said. You guys are going to do a great job without fail. I know that there's a lot of questions still to be asked, but please, again, read the syllabus, check in with your IAs. The deadlines are firm, so the timeliness of the course is really the timeliness of the course. And so that part is, if you can't turn something in, like say I can't get my quizzes done by the first week, okay, that's fine. But at the same time, that means that you've got more work to do within the second week. So work ahead, not work behind. That's going to save you. But once the course is done, the course is done. There's no go backs per se. Y'all are amazing. Congratulations on being in this course. We're super excited to have you here, and we look forward to working with you. And you'll be hearing from us again. I promise. We'll see you on Tuesday next week for the final project workshop.